Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Dogfish, and this one, I'm actually pretty excited. I haven't reviewed this one in a while, right? Yeah, I want to say so. This is SeaQuench Ale. So this is their session sour, 4.9%, so actually a lot higher alcohol, not a lot, but higher alcohol than their, what is it, low, what's that thing called? Slightly Mighty, the low-cal IPA thing, which is weird to make the IPA 4%, but make the sour 4.9. You think it'd be switched, right? Who knows? This, well, I don't know if it's true anymore. It's probably true. It's got to be this or Dominga from New Belgium, right? Anyway, from what I understand, this is the best-selling sour beer in the entire country, which sort of makes sense. I mean, got bought out by Boston Beer Company, big production, nationwide footprint. Like, you know, sour beer is only so popular. What brand can really, like, crush that much? And this is, like, you know, a session sour, right? It's not like a goose or mixed fermentation kind of to do. Like, how do you get a brand that's sour to, like, take over the whole country? It's got to be this guy, right? Like, and then Domingo, if you don't know, is a New Belgium sour, which is like a kettle sour blended with some of their mixed fermentation product, with, like, I think fruit might be added to that. Anyway, that beer is quite delicious. But yeah, SeaQuench Ale. So this is their session sour, brewed with lime juice, lime peel, black limes, and sea salt. So this is their take on like Goza. But yeah, nice label. Love the color. Very distinct. Beer is very, very pale. Wow. So I assume there's a good amount of, like, wheat or something in here. Jesus, what's wrong with this glass? I need to attack these glasses, actually. You know what I do? I actually, like, put them on a shelf, and, like, ideally I'd have, like, one of those shelves. If you guys have it, like a bar shelf, where it's like you can get a stem glass and, like, put it in there, and it, you know, hangs out upside down. Instead, I have these, like, I don't know what, I'm like, my kitchen's dirty. We only cooked them. I don't know. I need to wash these glasses a little bit better. So, unfortunate. That's your advanced throne here, teaching you how not to serve beer. Anyway, beer is very pale. Comes in a straw color. I assume there's a good amount of wheat in there. It has a little bit of this kind of, like, medium minus haze to it. Medium haze. Yeah, it's a hazy beer. It's a hazy beer. It actually, yeah, looks like actually kettle sour, right? Looks very nice. Wonderful, tight, pretty tight head. Yeah, that's wonderful. Is there, like, coriander or anything in here? I don't believe you can smell salt. Can you smell salt? Yeah, you can't smell salt, right? Yeah, I think you can smell salt. You can smell saltiness, I believe. That's a good question, because, like, you could smell the sea, but is that really, like, salt, or is that just, like, stuff associated with the sea making things smell salty? I feel like you can smell salt. Yeah, because, like, you can smell salty water versus, I don't know. Anyway, it smells salty to me. It smells a little briny. Definitely has that citrusy thing, which sort of reminds you a little bit of, like Goza has coriander. But here it's, like, zippy and lemony, but it's really limes. So it really stays with a true Goza kind of aromatic, even though there's not that kind of, like, Goza is just coriander and salt, right? Here's salt and limes, but for some reason it just smells like Goza, which is strange. Like, you know, again, I wouldn't have guessed it was a spin on Goza. This is obviously a spin on Goza. I will say it is mouth-watering. That acidity and the liminess, like, it just, you know, and the salt just makes me, I'm, like, literally salivating trying to, like, try this here. But yeah, pale cracker, that really, like, light, pale doughiness that you get from Goza. I guess a lot of wheat in here, and then the citrusy, tart, salty bite, right? Yeah. So just like the nose, the beer is solidly salty. It's savory. Obviously, it's not out of balance. It doesn't taste like a salty beer, but, like, if I had to think of a sour beer that adds salt to, yeah, it sort of tastes like this. Like, there's this really really wonderful kind of, like, a balance of, like, sour and salty. Sort of the same way you can play with, like, sweet and decadent ice cream and have, like, a really fancy, you know, salt on there or something. It has really nice kind of, like, balancing structure to it. I mean, it's like salt. It is the reason why you do it, like a salt rimmed margarita, right? That kind of, like, lemon, that lime, zippy, zesty, sour with the salt. Just Absolutely delicious. This is why you take tequila shots with salt and lime, you know, blah, blah. It's terribly refreshing. I'm surprised I had to go to 5% with this guy, like basically 4.9, 5%, whatever. I'm surprised they flipped the two, make the Slightly Mighty IPA a 5% product, basically, and then this one a 4% product. But extremely tasty, very sessionable. Again, like what less alcohol than like Budweiser, with so much more flavor and all the weird flavors that Budweiser has. Refreshing acidity up front, salty. It's a salty acidity. Again, it has this kind of like it's a very forward saltiness that sort of reminds you of just like, again, it reminds you of tequila shots. Like, you know, when you hit that lime, the salt, boom, that's like, without the tequila, obviously. It's got that pure flavor. It's very distinct, like just limes and salt. Like, for some reason, they triggered that really quite well. And it just takes a little bit like salty limeade. There's very little beerness to it. Like, you don't really taste too much of the malt. Obviously, the beer-based product, it has head to it. It is based out of malt, but like, it really, with that acidity and that much saltiness, and the acidity is like a medium to medium plus. It's not really super acidic, but like definitely there. And then nice saltiness, and actually, I will say a lot of other kind of like Goza style beers, like even like Anderson Valley, which is one of the classics, are less sour than this. This one really does have a good sourness to it, but not like punchy as far as like Westbrook goes. It's just delectable beer. As you wait more, the malt sort of shows. Malt shows a little bit of like light. Again, they kind of the same as the nose, grainy, a little bit malt, a little bit doughy, just very pale malt kind of sweetness to it. Shows that it's still beer, but the upfront impression really sings of like lime and salt. And just got this beautiful thing that I think that's probably why this beer is so accessible. It's just like, it just reminds you of taking tequila shots or salty margaritas, right? Like, it just, the brain just goes lime, salt, boom, love it. So never really thought about that when I reviewed this beer or had this beer before, but like now I think about it. It is very weird, by the way, to realize that you sort of step away and don't think about beer sometimes. Like, I've had a few of these. I believe it's actually my last can of 6-pack. I really haven't thought about it, but now I'm doing a review. My brain just like picks this beer apart. Like, you know, like, it's so weird to like see this kind of reaction. It's actually really funny to have had 5 cans of this beer, really not thought, you know, after a night of work, I'll have one of these, boom, that's it. And then now I'm reviewing like the 6th can for you guys, and now like I'm really realizing all these flavor notes I'm getting and all these other structural components of the beer as I'm dissecting it. This is fun. That's why I do this stuff for you guys, or I guess for myself too. But I do the channel because it is also educational for myself. So as you drink more, there's also a little bit more acidity and complexity to this beer is what I'm looking for. Complexity. What they're doing with the black lime and the black lime, the lime juice, and the lime peel, it really has a full component of like fruitiness and acidity, right? It's not like single note where it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's just the complexity of the lime flavor and yeah, the complexity of the lime flavor. Pretty much, it's sort of like adding seasoning and herbs. Beginning of a stew, or let's say soup, beginning of it, the middle of it, and the end of it, right? You get all these different elements, right? You know, at the end, it's a little bit more aromatic. This is literally the same thing they do with hops, you know, add it to the boil. 60 minutes, 15, or 30, 15, 5-minute, whirlpool, blah, blah. Like, you know, every time you add something at different points of cooking, brewing, blah, blah, you get different levels of flavor. And I guess with what they're doing with these different lime products, between lime peel, lime juice, and the black limes, you get a wide spectrum of lime flavor. It's really tasty to see the kind of a complexity on this. So really full amounts of lime flavor throughout the product. Beautiful acidity, beautiful lime flavor, beautiful acidity, beautiful saltiness. A little bit of malt flavor shows in, offering complexity. This is Summer Crusher. For me, my pick of favorites is going to be Westbrook Goza. But if I can't get that, this is pretty good. This is pretty up there. Like, it's very good. Really delicious session sour. For me, this gets a solid rating of a repeatability, drinkability, crushability at my age, at my life. Like, this is where I'm at, right? Really nice, kind of crushable, delicious, delectable, acidic, salty, savory beer. Wow. Let's go up there. This gets a solid 96. SeaQuench. I love this guy. I love this guy. I mean, like, just, you know, again, my reviews sort of like evolve with time and stuff. And as I think about more like repeatability, utility of a beer, like, you know, obviously, I still love impression and you know, things that like really blow your palate up. But there are times where like things are just really tasty and repeatable, and you just don't have to think about it. And I had no problem enjoying this 6-pack, and this is my last can. So reviewed it for you guys. 96. Cheers later.